copyright laws were made to, with the intention at least, to protect those who have an IP, who have a creative energy, who have perhaps been wronged. But now in this case, 2 lawyers have made an extortion scheme, and it's out there to shame anyone who likes porn. Shame. This is like porno trolling.
It is, first of all,
Honeypot. It's crazy that this happened.
It's amazing. On one end, it is a brilliant business model using copyright as a means
If you're
of extortion.
terrible.
If you're a terrible human being. 2, it's the antithesis of how copyright is supposed to be used. These guys literally bought up copyright
So what
claims.
happened was attorneys Paul R. Hansmeyer and John L. Steele, they're both licensed attorneys, what they decided to do was to use legal maneuvers to basically unlawfully extort money from people, which was what they did was they bought up the rights to certain porn films. And then they had
porn clips, even.
Clips,
like
even?
even specific clips that they
How
got
the
in.
hell do you? Okay,
because it's still a
anyway.
piece of content, but they put a copyright claim around it, and then use that copyright claim.
No, what they did is they had their own employees upload them to
Right.
sites like the Pirate Bay or other torrent sites.
Right.
And then what they did was record the IPs of those who downloaded them, including Sexual Obsession, Busty Beauty and Red Lingerie, and other companies I'm not supposed to bring up, or other names I'm not supposed to bring up. And they would send them basically threatening letters like, hey, you took this from us. If you don't pay up, you are going to be sued.
Yeah.
And a
Sued
lot of
and
this,
exposed,
a lot
which
of
is the
this is
honeypot.
like, yeah, it's like, oh, we're exposing you for watching
And they wanted
porn.
small, and even the worst, best part of this whole extortion scheme is they weren't asking for a crap ton of money. They were doing like a lot of the claims they said were somewhere around the $4,000 mark.
Which
So
I think can be a lot of money
it's
from
a
an
lot
individual.
Of money. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is, if the person fought it, like if they actually went back and said, no, I'm not going to pay up, do as you will, they usually dropped it and didn't pursue it any further. But it was the people who had like that instinctual, oh my God, I can't get caught, I can't create a scandal, I'm going to, just fork over the 4K.
And they made $6 million doing this. I think 4K is kind of an insidiously brilliant amount to choose because it usually costs more than that to hire an attorney to represent you.
Yeah, it does.
And I think they're preying on a lot of people who maybe don't understand the legal system that well.
Or the copyright law.
Or who are scared, basically
don't want to be exposed, because that's what the honeypot you're talking about, where it's
Yeah.
like people don't want to suddenly come out of the woodworks and saying that they downloaded porn on BitTorrent, and then they're willing to pay that money.
Oh, but then
to
I'll
make
get
it go away.
fired, and then the church won't like me anymore,
It's
and blah, blah,
so
blah.
many
I'm so
reasons.
ashamed because of what you've told me to be ashamed about.
It's-
On top of that, according to the indictment, on 3 occasions, they hired actors and produced multiple short pornographic
Right.
films that were never distributed, by the way.
Just
They were
uploaded.
uploaded directly to the Pirate Bay. They literally made porn only for the sole purpose of suing people or
They
extorting
made
people.
porn so that they could owe the copyright to that item, then upload it so that they could just extort people. They weren't even looking to start a company. All they wanted to do was to make a copyright claim on that item and seed it with their own employees on these sites.
And that's not the spirit of the law, clearly. That is not what it is intended to do.
No.
U.S. District Judge Otis Wright said that the attorneys defrauded the court and called their group a porno trolling collective. That is in quotes from a judge.
Good job, Judge. Good job.
He did. The judge was very scathing in this. I liked him.
That's great. I'm so happy. Because it's right. It's not the letter of the law. And these guys are, I mean, it is a money-making scheme that literally rides the law. I'm pretty sure he was upset, too, because these guys are attorneys as well.
Yeah, they
Like, they're supposed to be
use their
upholding.
inside privilege and also their I guess stature in society as like, oh, I understand the law.
They could issue these copyright claims and make them look really scary. I'm sure.
Definitely. When you're an attorney, you know how to write a threatening legal letter.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that you do, I would say, most for certain types of lawyers.
And when you are in essentially attacking people, extorting people, and shaming them, you tend to be more receptive to ways out, which I'm sure they all took advantage of monetarily.
So they have been indicted. So this is good news at least.
Yes.
At
The
least
legal system works.
At least the
In this
porno
case.
trolling collective has been brought to justice, or is starting to. I hate seeing this. I hate seeing abuse of copyright trolls, first of all,
Right.
and then people shaming each other for what should be a normal or seen as a normal thing, which is sex, porn. People watch it, people consume it. Everyone does, and
We've been doing it since we've been having it since we were painting on vases, vases, whatever.
I feel triumphant, at least at the end of the story, saying that there is an
success story.
indictment there. It's a success story. Don't necessarily be terrified by these things,
Yeah.
or
If you get a copyright
threatened.
claim when you're downloading it, calm down. Although I'm sure that
Save the letter, bring it to a real attorney.
right.
That's what I would do. Or upload it to Reddit and get some free. No, I don't know.
Don't
I don't
do
know
that,
about
guys.
That.
Don't do
I don't know.
that.
All right, audience. What's the most shameful way of taking money from someone have you heard of? Please let us know below in the comments. Please like and subscribe for more porn stories.